Okay, the taxation system you say is a mess. It's the most destructive system in our country.
Yes, without a doubt. And there are 4 key points that people, I would hope, would remember from a discussion of tax. First of all, it is the most destructive system in the country, without a doubt. Now, the key point is that Jim Kalali, who was former Deputy Commissioner of Taxation for Large Companies and International Matters with our Australian Taxation Office, he retired in 2015. In 1996 and again in 2010, he said, and I'll quote you, 90% of Australia's large companies are foreign-owned and since 1953 have paid little or no company tax. In Japan, foreign-owned companies amount to 2.5%. In America and Britain, it's 12.5%. We have 90%, and most of these companies don't pay company tax. Is that fair?
No.
I don't think it is.
Absolutely not.
So then the second figure, and I'm still tracking down this, I've got Parliamentary Library doing some research here in Canberra, but I learned that the figures in the late 1990s and early 2000s said that a person on the average income pays 68% of his income or her income to government in the form of taxes, levies, fees, charges, special charges. What that means is that a person on the average income works from Monday until mid-morning Thursday.
That's right.
To pay for government.
Mm.
And so you've got 2/3 of Thursday and all of Friday to save for your retirement, to save for education, to save for living costs, to pay for a house. What it means, Marcus, is that we've been told this nonsense that the largest purchase in our life is house. Rubbish. The largest purchase of our life is government. And I don't think we're getting good value for it.
All right, 68%, eh? Taxes, levies, charges, special charges.
Yeah.
Oh, boy, oh, boy.
Just insane.
Fuel price.
Well, you raise fuel prices. You know, just look at the start of our day. We wake up in a house.
Yeah.
About 50% of the cost of a house is estimated to be in tax. Okay? So that means you've got an effective tax rate on housing, construction components, what goes into a house, of 100%. Mm-hmm. Then you wake up in your house and you have a breakfast toast. Half the cost of a loaf of bread is taxed. So that's, again, an effective tax rate of about 100%. Then you drive to work. 70% of the fuel price is tax. That relates to an effective tax rate of 230%. But it gets worse. When you borrow that money to pay for your house, because you're getting a loan for a house that is half tax, you are paying interest on a loan that's increased by the tax. See what I mean? So you've extended your loan payments out enormously, and you're paying so much more in interest because you're paying on the tax in the bloody house.
Well, that ruined my Thursday morning.
No, what we've got to do, Marcus, is really challenge politicians because they're all running away from tax reform. And that's the fourth point I'd ask people to mention. Paul Keating introduced the GST. Whether or not, the concept rather, whether or not you agree with GST is not important. Forget that for a minute. But Keating introduced the topic of GST as a concept. He almost got it in. And then a few years later, Hewson revived the concept of GST, and Keating used GST to flog Hewson in the 1993 election. So there was Keating using a system that he introduced to bash someone else. And then Costello, he liked the proposed new system of taxation in 1998, I think it was. Mm-hmm. He even said it had merit. And then the moment another political opponent raised that same system, he used it to destroy that person. So what we're seeing is that in our country, the politicians, if someone raises a tax system, others will jump on the bandwagon to destroy it in order to destroy them.
Right.
So what we have to have is a proper understanding of the tax and how bad it is in this country, how much damage it's doing, then come at it from first principles and then let the taxation system evolve out of that.
All right, well said. All right, Malcolm, that's why I like talking to you. Food for thought, even though you may be extremely depressed.
Well, it's the annoyance that gets people off their backsides and starts fighting for what this country really needs, a proper, fair, honest taxation system.
Mate, you have a wonderful day. We'll talk again next week. Thank you.
Look forward to it. Thanks, Marcus.
One Nation Senator Malcolm.